Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. Now, boxing, there's a lot of great fights 2017. One I'm looking forward to personally, Brook from the UK, IBF champion, welterweight champion, versus Spence Jr. Who do you like in that fight?
It's hard to say because Brook, I think, was one of the best welterweights, period. But the fact that he moved up to fight Triple G and now he's moving back down kind of throws me for a loop because it's hard to judge where he's going to be at. You know, sometimes when guys go up,
and he got an injury in that fight.
Sometimes when guys go up and come back down, kind of messes with their bodies and messes with how they perform. All I know is Spence looks like a killer, and I love him. I mean, I really like watching him. I think that he is the best in that group of welterweights. I think he's going to come out on top. I hope that happens, and I think that it will. I think that he's the killer in that division that a lot of people don't even know yet, but I think he'll prove it when he fights Brook. If he wins against Brook, because I think Brook and him are really the two welterweights that are really going to take over. So, well, I mean, one of them is going to make it, you know, to the top spot. So if they did like a Super 6 like what Ward was in, they're going to be at the top.
They would be at the top.
And I think that, so that, don't get me wrong, because that's a very competitive fight. But I think you take either one of them and you know, put them with the top fighter, Thurman or Porter, then either one of them, they beat both of them.
Oh, Brook already
beat Sean. I think that he'd beat Thurman, and I think that Brook will beat both too. So I hope, you know.
Now, I got to ask you, because you said previously when we interviewed that we were talking about body shots, and you said Thurman doesn't like it to the body.
Crazy body shots.
And Spence has great body shots. As a fighter, if somebody is just finding a home, like Spence seems to do, the body snatcher, finding a home for those body shots, what could a fighter do to negate that or prevent that? Because obviously if that's a soft spot of Thurman.
That's a good question. What I notice, what Floyd does, you know, let somebody tee off on your body without them taking something upstairs. Floyd, the reason people had a hard time going to his body because they'd be taking leather up top because he's rolling and coming back off. But counterpunching is the way that you take away from that.
Show me.
I mean, you can't. I mean, like, so they throw to this side. I mean, but it's hard unless if they don't use the shoulder roll. It's a little different. But even if you're from here, you catch here, come up with the up here, catch here, come up with the up here. You got to have like good reaction time. You catch here, come here. Canelo did it against Cotto the whole time.
Oh, yeah, that was ridiculous.
Because they knew Cotto throws a hook to the body, left hook to the body. So he'd catch here with his right, and he would come with a hook. Like, that's just a weird thing that not a lot of people do, but they worked on it the whole camp, and they were doing it like crazy. Catching, hook, catching, hook. Every time he tried to reach around with the hook to the body, catch it.
And Cotto has shorter arms, it looks like, than Canelo.
So you got to move your waist, you got to dip, and you always got to come back because just catching him is not going to be enough. Because you catch it down, he comes up top and hits you if you don't counter. You got to catch him, you got to use your waist, you got to catch him, and you got to come back up with the counter.
Now, is there anything Thurman, I mean, he looks to be in good shape at the weigh-ins. Is there anything you could do to strengthen the effect of taking body shots? Like, or is it just?
I'm sure there's something you can do because it's just weird to me that he has such a hard time taking body shots. Like, they noticeably hurt him worse than others. Probably just like, I mean, some people get caught up in like the ab work. Like they think that like doing like like sit-ups and stuff that'll make your body stronger. That actually has absolutely nothing to do with how you take a shot in boxing. It doesn't have anything to do. It's totally different. It'll make you look strong, but as far as taking a punch, the best way to strengthen it is take the medicine ball and you hit your body and it conditions you to get hit with body shots. I don't know if they're already doing that. There's something weird about that. Like most guys,
Porter
it's like
fight, Luis Collazo.
Yeah, most fighters, like if you have a bad chin, that's normal. You know what I mean? But I've never seen like an in shape, top pedigree, you know, guy have such a sensitive body. But that's obviously a weakness. It's weird, but.
Now, the thing I like about the welterweight division is stacked. You got a lot of guys on any given night. You never know what will happen. There's a guy that trains in this gym that just called out. He said, put Porter to the side, Keith Thurman, glove up, and that was Amir. What would Amir Khan need to do to beat the Keith Thurman style?
I think he'd need to fight similar to, he'd have to be very polished, and I think he'd have to fight similar to the way he fought Canelo. Use his range and use his speed. I think that's the most interesting fight for Thurman. Other than, I think that is the fight right there. People really forget about Khan. You know, he's right there in that welterweight. Before he went up and fought middleweight,
Canelo.
Middleweight and fought.
Well, it was technically middleweight. You're right, 155.
They fought it almost middleweight. Before he did that, he was one of those elite fighters. Now people just write him off because he got knocked out by a middleweight. So that's crazy to me that people aren't thinking about him. Like, you go up, you take a chance, you get stopped. It could have happened. Everybody knew there was a chance. Fought better than pretty much everybody on the planet expected him to. But now he comes down and people are forgetting about him. Even, it's hard because, like, the reason, when he called out Thurman, I was like, oh man, Khan's in this mix. You know what I mean? Like, because everyone else, no one's talking about him, it's hard to remember, like, he is the top player at this thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of them that right there with Brook, and that's not just talk. Like, the way he looked in the Canelo fight, he could come out and be one of the best at the end of the day. Like that Super 6 tournament you talked about, if they did a welterweight one, he could be one of those ones that is right there. Because I think that he's the best, he's the most interesting fight for Thurman. I think that his speed would give Thurman all kinds of problems. I mean, he could beat Thurman very, very, there is like a very good chance that he beats Thurman. So, yeah, people forget about Khan. Khan's in there. Khan beats a lot of them. I'm like, you make a case that he beats all of them. Like, there's not one fighter in the welterweight division that he's just outclassed against. Like, he's got a chance to beat any of them, you know. So
now, you sparred Khan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What were your takeaways? Like, what did you notice that he does well?
Mainly just, like, extremely athletic as far as fast feet.
Have you fought anyone as fast as him that you can remember that just
Absolutely not, no. Not even close. He's got very, very fast hands that aren't normal, so.
He said aren't normal?
Yeah, he's got extremely athletic, just everything. Foot speed, hand speed, kind of similar to like a Pacquiao, like very, very fast in and out. Like, he can hit you without you seeing it and things like that. So, yeah, but like I said, as much as anybody's got a chance in that welterweight division, he does. Like, it's very competitive all the way around. But I can make a case for everybody that he could fight in the welterweight division that he could beat him. Now,
what if he rematched Danny Garcia? Because it looked like the reason he got knocked out in the first Danny Garcia fight was he got a bit greedy. He was letting his hands go too much, and Danny Garcia was able to time him. So now that he's with Virgil Hunter, it looks like he's scaled that back a bit. Yeah. So what do you think of a rematch, Amir Khan versus Danny Garcia? Is that a good fight?
I think Khan wins that fight in a rematch because he was really he was touching him a lot in that fight. He got a little greedy, like you said, but Garcia hasn't changed. Khan has, and Khan's changed for the better. So I think he wins that fight if they fought again.
And then just your thoughts again, Porter versus Thurman. If they rematch, let's say they rematch next.
I think Porter is improved, and I think that he won the first fight. In my book, I think he won by at least by maybe a couple rounds. And I don't think it was like a robbery or anything. I just thought he won. So if he fights him now, I think he is improved, and I think that he'll win by like a little more clearly, and he'll get the decision the second time.